Hello friends, welcome again to my channel Asma's Botany. Okay, today we will discuss about the three topics. That is, the first is the back cross, second test cross, and third is the out cross. Okay, so first of all, what is the back cross? Okay, to understand the back cross, you must understood about the Mendel's monohybrid cross, on which the two laws, law of dominance and the law of segregation, is based. Okay, so what is the back cross? Okay, back cross means in the F1 hybrid. You know the F1 hybrid means the F1 hybrid Mendel get all the plants were tall, but the genotype is heterozygous. So these plants are back cross or the reverse cross with either this recessive homozygous parent or the dominant homozygous parent, means this tall and this plant. So this both are known as the back cross. If the F1 hybrid crossed with this recessive homozygous parent or the dominant homozygous parent. Okay, this is known as the back cross. Then second is most important. This is the most important, which is the test cross. So what is the test cross? The test cross means the cross between the recessive homozygous parent. Recessive means that is not dominant, there is dwarf plants, and homozygous means both alleles are of same time small t. Okay, parent, this is the fix for the test cross. Okay, and the heterozygous means this small capital T small t means this is the heterozygous genotype. Okay, and both the alleles are of different type, but or the homozygous dominant genotype means this both alleles are same and both are of the tallness representing the dominant character. So this is fixed, the recessive homozygous parent for the test cross. So if we do the cross between this recessive homozygous parent and this, that is the dominant homozygous, and recessive, the second cross, which is the recessive homozygous parent and the heterozygous F1 hybrid. So these both are known as the test cross. In both crosses, one thing is similar, that is we must take this recessive homozygous parent, small t. That is the characteristic feature of this test cross. Okay, so you must remember this. And suppose we have the plant which have the tall phenotype, but we don't know about the genotype of this plant. So how can we know that what is the genotype of this plant? Either the plant, this tall plant, have the genotype which is both the alleles are of similar the tallness type, and or also this type, the heterozygous type, because this is dominant. So what is the genotype? Exactly, this tall plant, this one tall plant have what is the genotype? What type of genotype? So to know that this, we use this test cross. That's why this cross is named as the test cross. Okay. So first of all, we took the parents. This is the fix, the recessive homozygous parent. Then here we don't know that the plant have the genotype of this and this. We took only the tall plants in phenotype. Suppose this tall plant have this and this, you don't know that. Then I have written only to understand, but you don't know this. Okay, you know only that these both are tall only. Okay, then you form the gametes, and after the gamete formation you form the checkerboard, and then you will get the test cross ratio. In the test cross ratio, you can see the phenotype of this have the 100% tall plant, and the genotype have the 100%, but you don't know the genotype. The phenotype you must know only. So 100% tall, but here after the test cross, this Punnett square or checkerboard, you will get the phenotype of the test cross ratio, which is 1:1. 50% plants were tall and 50% are dwarf. Either here 100% tall, here 50% tall and 50% dwarf. So by this test cross ratio you can assume, you can know the unknown genotype of this parent. This how can, because here you can see this unknown genotype of the parent is this homozygous dominant. Homozygous dominant. Why? Because dwarfness is completely absent in the test cross ratio. Because dwarfness completely absent in the test cross ratio. Means what? Here you can see no dwarfness, no plants. Any plant is not tall. All the plants are tall. So how can you see the dwarfness is completely absent? So the genotype have this, because you must know about the law of segregation. What is the law of segregation means? Listen, when single gene, two alleles separate from each other and form a different gamete. So in any progeny, in the further progeny, in the test cross progeny or the F2 progeny, here the test cross progeny, one allele is from this gene and this allele is from this gene. Both the alleles are not from one gene. All the times we must follow this. So here you see that dwarfness is completely absent. Okay. So why? Because this two dwarf alleles not form one progeny. Here, if here one allele of dwarfness is present, then the dwarfness is present. So you can see here dwarfness is present because in this allele one dwarfness allele is present. So when this dwarfness allele form the progeny with the other parental dwarfness allele, then the dwarfness appear. But here this dwarfness allele is completely absent, so dwarfness is not present. So we can assume that dwarfness is completely absent means in the parent it must be homozygous. It is homozygous. So we know that the genotype of this parent. But here the dwarfness is present in the test cross ratio. In the test cross ratio you see this dwarfness is present. Here the dwarfness is present means here this small t, this one dwarfness allele is come from this gene and this second come from this gene. This gene. So these two dwarfness alleles are from different genes. So this gene must have the dwarfness allele, but here is not. So that's why we can know the unknown genotype of the parent. Okay. So that's why here the unknown genotype is the homozygous, but here the heterozygous. Means one allele is of dwarfness type. One allele is of dwarfness type because we form this dwarfness in the test cross ratio. Okay. Okay. So this is the dihybrid test cross. Okay. In the monohybrid test cross, only one character is seen, that is the plant height. Or here the dihybrid test cross. Dihybrid cross, which was performed by Mendel in the on which the law of independent assortment is based, on which the seed color and seed shape two characters are taken. And here we took this recessive parent. Test cross means always we took the recessive parent. We crossed this recessive parent with another parent, and we don't know the genotype of this parent. Okay, so here this recessive parent and this recessive parent is similar. Okay, but here the phenotype of this parent is the yellow and round seed. Okay, and here also yellow and round seed, and we only know the phenotype. We don't know this that it is homozygous or it is heterozygous. We only know the phenotype. These are yellow round and these are also yellow round. Okay, but this can be both, and we will know this genotype after this test cross. Okay, So then form the gametes, and after the gametes and checkerboard formation, we will get the test cross ratio. In the phenotype of this, you can see the 100% yellow and brown seeds are produced. Okay, and here after it form the 4 gametes. I have already discussed how to form this, and then after this you will get this checkerboard and the test cross ratio. You will see that phenotype is 1 is to 1 is to 1 is to 1, means 25% is to 25% is to 75% is to 25. So but here 100% yellow and brown seeds are produced, but here is not. So here we can say unknown genotype of the parent is this homozygous. Why? Because I have already discussed the law of segregation, means or this test cross progeny, this one test cross progeny contains one allele from one character. Suppose this character. In this character, this is the seed color. In this yellow color seed allele is come from this parent, and this small y, this green color seed allele is come from this. So both the alleles are separated. So in any progeny, both the alleles of a single gene not come. Both the alleles are from different parent. Okay, different genes. Okay, so that's why it happened. So here we can assume that this unknown genotype of the parent is this, because all the plants have the yellow and brown, no recessive character. Okay, so if the recessive character is present, then the parent we take with this recessive must have the one allele of the recessive type that is present here, not here. That's why here the unknown genotype is this heterozygous, because this small y and small r, this recessive character is present in this. So this recessive and this recessive form a generation, then it is the heterozygous. So unknown genotype is the heterozygous. Okay. So this is the test cross. Then the another important cross is the outcross. This is not so important. So, but it is the definition is the cross between the F1 heterozygous hybrid plant and the homozygous dominant parent. Here the homozygous recessive parent we take in the test cross, but here in the outcross homozygous dominant parent we take this. This is the fix for the outcross. But this outcross is not so significant or useful. Why? Because you can see here this is fixed, and if we take the example of this heterozygous type, then after the checkerboard formation the phenotype is 100% tall. And like this test cross, if we take, it is fixed, but if we take in this place this, then it will form this, and after this you can see here in this case the plants were also tall. So in the both cases all the plants were tall, so we cannot assume the genotype of the parent that we take. Okay, so it is not so important. Okay, so this is the most important question that I have got for you. This question is, when this dominant homozygous parent is an over. Okay, so but these heterozygous, this is present only. So how can we get this homozygous tall plant, homozygous dominant plant, from using this heterozygous tall plant? How can? So this is the solution of this is only, this have only one solution, by the selfing of this heterozygous tall plant. Okay, so you know what is the selfing? Selfing means when the two parent with similar genotype are made to reproduce. Okay, so this is the cell fin. When this heterozygous tall and this heterozygous tall plant are made to reproduce, then it forms the gametes, and after the gamete formation it will form the Punnett square or the checkerboard. Then the genotype, you will see the genotypic ratio in this 1:2:1. Here this tall plants, the tall homozygous plants we can get. Okay, this is the only method, and the another method we can, by the another method we cannot get the this by using this. Okay, so if we talk about this method, then in this method you can see this is the heterozygous tall plant, okay, and if we cross with this, then you know the law of segregation. So this what the gametes separates from each other. So in any progeny, this allele, this dwarfness allele must come. So always we get either this or this, but not this, because one allele come from this, so this cannot appear. Okay, and it is not possible also because we have not this type of plant. Not possible. These two methods are not possible. Only the selfing by this heterozygous tall plant we can get this homozygous tall plant. Okay, so okay, I hope you understood, and stay tuned for the next videos. And if you like the videos, press the like button and share it, and don't forget to subscribe my channel Asma's Botany and press the bell icon for the latest update. Thank you.